Welcome to the 5th episode of
MNmaxed in Space!
A recap of Session 4. Our crew is in Barry's garage where they're having upgrades done to their ship. As they are leaving, they are accosted by some thugs who attack. Through the combat, we learn a little bit more about all of these characters we're getting to know. In the end, they are successful and defeat the enemies. However, one manages to run away. In pursuing that lead, we learn that Verikan has some ties to the underworld. The crew finds video showing that the enemy who got away is forcibly abducted by the Eoxian embassy. The crew then goes and talks to another commander of the stewards, trying to manufacture an audience with the Eoxian embassy to learn about this enemy they have abducted. While there, they learn that FEO stands for First Eoxian Order and is a disavowed Eoxian nationalist terrorist organization. The plot thickens. The crew decide to rest for the night on their ship and approach their investigation the next day.
Alright, so Vale is going to, that morning, get up and head over to the bridge. Not sure where everybody else is at the moment, but if I don't see everybody at the bridge, I'll go ahead and I'll press the button for the ship's comm and, crew, and let's come to the bridge. We need to plan for the next day or two.
Verikan will come on in and he'll be like fully armored, weapons on, ready to roll.
Yeah, Kirsch shows up almost immediately, not necessarily because he was waiting for it, but because being so used to the stewards, when you're called to the deck by the captain, you fucking do it.
Present and ready for orders, Captain.
Bubbles will walk in. He's just fiddling with some type of explosive.
It's gonna take a while for me to get used to welcoming mornings on the ship. Now, we have a very dangerous endeavor in front of us. Getting into the Eoxian embassy is not going to be an easy task, but let's lay out the information that we have in front of us. Verikan, what do you know about the embassy?
I know it's going to be an absolute hellhole to get into, and it's going to be even worse coming out of. If we don't have any sort of plan trying to get in, we're dead. And we can't just be asking about the FEO as soon as we get in there either, because we're bound to spook whoever we are searching for as soon as we walk in the door.
That's fair. How many points of entry would you say there are? I feel like we have the front doors, the official entrance to the embassy, but we saw that van go in through a back garage. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what we saw on the cameras. I vote we would try to use that same garage entrance and try to make it in there.
At this moment, 2 hail transmissions start coming in, essentially simultaneously, to your ship. One is from Commander Kuthari. The other appears to be from the Eoxian embassy.
Kirsch, put the Eoxian embassy up on the display.
A transmission comes in, a hologram of an Eoxian. Hello, my name is Baru Law. I am an Eoxian ambassador here on Absalom Station. I have received reports from my contacts in the local security that you were attacked by and seem to have some dispute with some Eoxian nationalists. Furthermore, I understand you are stewards, or at least civil officers and representatives of that organization. Please, I wish to meet with you to apologize for what has happened, discuss matters, and offer any assistance I can on behalf of Eox. Baru Law out.
That was a recording or
It would have been like a recorded transmission, yeah.
So we get a voicemail.
Like a letter, but basically a voicemail, but a hologram voicemail.
We get an HM, hollow mail.
There you go, hollow mail. It is a hollow mail.
Okay. Is the commander still buzzing?
Yes, also a hollow mail.
Just put that one up.
Commander Katori, this message is for Captain Vale and the crew of the Zerial. We've analyzed the scans your ship took of the factory and compared its signature against locational scans from all steward ships and installations. We have found a hit, and I am sending you the coordinates. I have no doubt that this is not even close to all of them that exist, and may not even be what we're looking for at all. But I want you to go to this location and see what you can find.
look for clues as to the whereabouts of the Endeavor, if it even still exists. Who's doing this, and why? Good luck to you. Commander Kotori, out.
Bergen, can you put the coordinates into the nav systems and find out where this thing is?
The coordinates. The coordinates are inside the sun.
Well, that's probably going to be harder to get into and harder to get out.
No, it's not. Just need to pay a Serenite to accompany us on the ship, and
If anybody would like to make a, whatever would be like, what the fuck is society? Culture? Make a culture check if you want to understand what that might mean. Goodness, everybody knows. So, we've got a 19, a 22, and a 29. Mr. Bubbles doesn't care. There are magical bubbles within the plasma of the sun, and magical tunnels that go through the sun and are protected. Many people live there. Largely, it is not controlled. Like, there's a government, but it was founded and kind of built up by the Serenites. That is true. And they have the largest presence there. But there are peoples from all over the universe.
What sun is it?
It's the sun of the Pact Worlds. Does it have a name? I'm sure it has a name. This just says it's called the sun, though. The main city, though, is called the the Burning Archipelago is the main city. And nobody knows where the magical bubbles came from or how they work.
nope, pre-gap.
I would rather not go into the Eoxian embassy if we don't have to. If we can get another hit out on these stations that are creating all these creatures, I'd prefer to do that rather than going to the Eoxian embassy. But it wouldn't hurt to talk to them.
We're already at the station. It would make sense to meet with the Eoxians before leaving again.
I feel like Kirsch has the correct nature of this.
Perhaps we could suggest a more neutral site than inside the embassy, though.
I would agree. Let's say we find a spot just outside Barry's. Just make sure it's not entirely neutral territory. Also, it might be good to show them the location that we were attacked by their Eoxian nationals.
Oh, we can hail them.
Yeah, if you'd like to contact the embassy, that'd be easy enough to do.
I would
like
be
to do that.
fucking surprised if they meet us anywhere outside of the embassy.
I would also, but I feel like we need to at least throw it out there to be like, you're not just going to push us around.
Right.
Kirsch, can you put the embassy up on the holophone?
Yeah, Kirsch will push a couple buttons and be like,
Hello. You have reached the Eoxian embassy. If you know the extension of your party, please dial it now.
I hate these things.
To reach the operator, please press 0.
I press it.
That is an invalid entry. If you know the extension of
buttons
your
on
party,
these holographic fucking phones.
Baru!
Lol.
You said press 0, I press 0!
Of course, the fucking Eoxian embassy is one of these. Oh, God.
Supervisor.
Oh, boy, does that hit home.
Yeah, no shit. A person does come on the line. Hello, how can I help you?
I'd like to speak to Ambassador Baru, please.
Ambassador Lore has a very busy schedule. Do you have...
This is Captain Vale of the Zuriel. I expect that he will be returning my call immediately.
All right, Captain Vale. I'll let him know. Give me just a moment. Do you mind if I place you on hold?
Fine.
Jesus Christ.
American, I can understand why you hate these people. This is the most bullshit I've ever dealt with.
Why do you think I killed a few of them?
I don't like dealing with the bureaucracy. I mean, I don't even like this song.
Yes, hello. This is Ambassador Lore.
Ambassador Lore, this is Captain Vale of the Zuriel.
Captain Vale, yes, thank you very much for returning my holomail. I am very interested in speaking with you and your crew, and again, I want to apologize for the issues that you encountered with terrorist organization.
Well, Ambassador, I believe you've already answered several questions of your own just on your introduction, but I demand more answers.
Sure, what would you like to know?
I would like to meet in a neutral territory with you and my crew. You may also bring a retinue of 3 guards if you feel it necessary for whatever reason, but I do expect that we can meet on neutral territory. The last time I met Eoxian, he almost killed me.
Yes, of course. I really cannot put myself at such risk. What I can do is create a secure connection between us and make sure that nobody could intercept our transmissions.
Trust your frequencies. Do that on a steward frequency and we can talk.
If you are able to set up a frequency and I can have my people verify its security, then that would be perfectly acceptable to me.
Deal.
Have your people contact my people, Captain Vale.
It will be done, Ambassador, and please...
Wait, hold on. Vale, come here for a second.
Please, Ambassador, give me one moment.
He already knows that we were looking into this situation, otherwise he wouldn't have hailed us. The odds that we're going to get a secure connection from the stewards are going to be really low. We might as well just meet with him in person if it's this.
Well, it sounds like he's not going to be willing to make a in-person meeting.
The Eoxians are dumb. They're not going to kill us on site in the embassy.
Are you suggesting that you are, in fact, comfortable with an embassy visit?
It's better than meeting with them over the phone and dealing with having all the records exposed.
All right, we'll do it. I look back over, and, Ambassador, I would be willing to meet with you in person on the embassy grounds.
That is excellent. We can guarantee your safety. It is very secure here.
Well, if you'd like to guarantee my safety, I would like to ensure that you not waste my time. I expect answers.
I will provide any information that I am allowed to provide.
Well, we'll see if it's sufficient. Veil out.
Not even Captain Vale out, huh?
I'm still getting used to it. Can I just have that entire conversation be an intimidate check?
Yeah, sure. You can make an intimidate check on Varu Lore.
I wanted to ask you halfway through, but I was just on such a roll, so I wanted to keep going.
I even have a stat sheet for him.
Bitchin'. Got a 21 intimidate.
Jesus.
Ooh, do you know what that goes against in this?
15 plus 1.5 times the opponent's CR.
Okay.
Or 10 plus your opponent's total intimidate skill bonus. Whichever is greater.
I was gonna say, I think there's like a second one based on listening to STF.
Now, you're attempting to gauge this ambassador's reaction over a hollow message, which is not always the greatest. Bear in mind, he is also an Eoxian, which means his head and face are an impassive skull with glowing green eyes. So it is very difficult to tell if your intimidate check has been successful or not.
And we make a sense motive, just try to determine that.
You certainly
I'll do
can.
that as well.
I was too focused on what I was doing. I forego that check.
25?
Kirsch gets the 20.
I'm afraid that neither of you are really able to tell anything about this ambassador's.
Does make sense that a fucking diplomat is hard to read.
True.
Well, yeah, especially an Eoxian diplomat, but
Right.
doesn't mean we can't try.
You can try.
Vale's gonna kind of look over the crew and, well, I'm not sure if I really know how to approach a meeting at the embassy with an Eoxian diplomat. However, I say we prepare for every possibility.
Can I make a culture check or not? I mean, are they going to allow us to like bring weapons in, or are they assuming like a code check your weapons at the door kind of thing?
Oh yeah, you don't even need to make a check to know that you're not going to be able to bring your weapons into the building proper.
I mean,
See, I wasn't sure because I mean, like the Eoxians are like kind of like a go ahead, fucking try it kind of thing.
They could be. So the way I take it, and Eox is my favorite planet in the Pact Worlds, and I've read a lot about it. And the way I take it is that nobody knows the reasons why. Maybe, like, everybody suspects there's nefarious reasons behind this. But in everything they do, the Eoxians try to be the absolute perfect members of the Pact. Like, they were the first to sign it. They try to do everything just perfectly, by the book, exactly right, the way they're supposed to.
Brasmans hate them.
Just feels creepy.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like they look creepy and they're probably all evil, and who knows what their motives are, but that's not what they do. What they do is just like perfect by the book. It's very fun.
I think I like from a player standpoint, I think Eoxians are fucking great.
They are fantastic.
From Vale's standpoint, those guys are fucking wild cards. And I'm not a fan of wild cards.
Tell me if it's a bad idea for me to hide a gun and some ammo on me.
I reckon that's a terrible idea.
I have a pretty good sleight of hand skill.
I understand, but realistically, you could put the entire operation at risk.
Well, they're just gonna take it away.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a weapon of any kind, I'm gonna be holding it in my mouth. But
That's why it's best when your weapon is your mind.
Is that Kirsch flexing over there on the bridge?
A little bit, because he's both rather smart, but also has mental spells.
There can I think it's unfortunate.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Well, then don't tell the captain.
Come in your dress fatigues and don't bring a weapon.
All right, no guns.
Vale gives Verica the top like head to toe glance. I've kind of picked up a little bit on your history, and I go, all right then. Well, see to it that we're ready to depart.
But also, David, I did decide to sleight of hand a gun and 2 magazines for a 25 sleight of hand. So
all right, fair enough.
You can oppose that with a perception check
or a metal detector.
I'm gonna make a little bit of a power
Fuck you.
It's already fucking in the plans.
It's the future.
Yeah,
we already have ceramic guns and stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There you go.
That pass through metal detectors.
3D printed gun.
Bastard.
Vale's going to look at Kursk and Kursk, send a meeting time to the ambassador. Make it for 6 p.m. just after dinner.
Aye, Captain.
We'll see how much he's willing to bend for us. See how sorry he really is. Then that leaves the day for you all. I think that I'm going to stay in the ship and do a little research on the coordinates that the commander sent to us. But for each of you, if you'd like to take the day to do personal things, go right ahead.
Yeah, whatever you guys would like to do, up to you.
I'm just going to take 20 then.
On your hiding your weapon?
Yeah. When you have plenty of time to devote to a skills task that task has no adverse effect upon failure.
See, that's the line that
I think that's.
But it says the GM might rule that you can take 20 on that skill check.
Absolutely.
Because taking 20 assumes that you have multiple attempts at the task until you get it right. So I would.
Right. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, you might think you hit it well, but
Right. That's true.
You've got a fucking mirror.
Yeah.
Hasn't anybody here ever seen Taxi Driver? You talking to me?
just walk up to Bubbles. Do you notice anything different about me?
Maybe I just walk by the captain a couple times.
You know,
Is that a gun in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
Vale during this time is going to. I don't have computers. Kershki the only one, or Verikan is the only one with computers? It's Verikan, isn't it?
Yes.
I have computers. It's only a 4.
Okay.
Verikan's is better?
I have a 7.
Okay.
Because I took 1 rank of it at level 2, just so I had it.
So Vale's going to go over to Kershk, who I'm assuming hasn't left the bridge yet.
No.
I mean, I haven't dismissed you.
I mean, you kind of said we could do what we wanted for the day.
I did. You're right. I did dismiss you.
But Kirsch was definitely planning on staying on board to help do whatever he can, because this is the stuff that he's like into. So
I feel like this would be a good opportunity for you and I to put our heads together to try to figure out a little bit more about this situation. So, I mean, I would say, whatever the equivalent of the Absalom Station's Google is. Like, we plug in the coordinates. We want to know what planet, if it's in the drift. We're looking for like news stories, incidents around that area, if that's even possible. We're just looking to gather as much information about the vicinity as we possibly can.
that website is called Absolum. With a bunch of O's.
Absolute.
Why don't you guys go ahead and ask me the questions you want, and then if I feel like it's something that you couldn't know just from searching online, then we'll make some checks.
I mean, some of it's just straight up with these coordinates that we got.
Yeah.
Is it in the drift or out of the
Not in the drift. In
Not
the sun.
in the drift. That's right, in the sun. That's right. Okay. Is it in a particular like known bubble?
Yes.
Or okay. All right.
It is in the corona.
In the corona.
Oh God, I didn't think of that till just now. It is in the corona.
So we're
going into the corona.
We're taking a secret mission to inside the corona that's inside of the sun.
That's correct.
All right, great.
Perfect.
Now, in the corona, oh boy, this is going to be difficult. In the corona, is this like culture check to try to like, is this like a high society area? Is it a slummy area?
Yes. Now you're getting a little in detailed. Let's go with a culture check.
Okay. Swanee, total table talk here. I have a +7. What's yours?
I've got a 10.
Okay, so can I aid Swanee or aid Kirsch in a culture check?
Yes,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think you just need a 10.
Just a 10 in this game.
Jesus.
Fuck me.
You do not aid.
Detrimental to the group right now.
I've never been to the sun before.
Well, you see,
You fucking needed it. Yeah, right, exactly.
Kirsch gets a 29 on his culture check.
That's exactly how it would be too. God, have I mentioned before how much I love all of your characters in this? Like, just every one of them is great. I love how nerdy Kirsch is. Okay, the Corona. Fuck me. The main feature of the Corona is a thing called the Brass Bazaar. The Brass Bazaar is a strange marketplace that is mostly inhabited by things that are from the elemental plane of fire, elementals, Ifrites, that kind of thing, because the Corona bubble is the only bubble that is somewhat unstable. Parts at the top and bottom periodically waver, and harmful radiation can penetrate through. There are other things in the Corona, but mostly it's the Brass Bazaar.
So is this like, I'm picturing this like extra planar, like Middle Eastern bazaar in the middle of the sun with Ifrites and fire elementals and shit, right?
Yes, it's crazy.
Okay, all right.
Like the things you can get there aren't things you could get anywhere else.
That sounds fucking cool. Are the coordinates just the Brass Bazaar, the Corona? Does it get? How narrow do those coordinates get?
Pretty precise. So if you were to pull up, I suppose you would probably have access to like steward authorized, pretty detailed maps of the areas.
I'd swipe up a hollow version of the Brass Bazaar.
It's
so
under
we can
the Brass
like
Bazaar. It's under it.
What kind of is it like a platform that the Brass Bazaar is on?
That is something I tried to understand about all of these bubbles and couldn't come to a solid conclusion, so I'm making it up.
Let's hear it. I want to hear it. Is it like
I am imagining that somewhere toward the bottom of the bubble is a solid structure that everything else is built on, because obviously there's gravity, so it's not going to be like centered in the middle of the bubble. It's going to be on the bottom of the bubble, and it's, I'm certain, not natural. Like people may have brought in like millions and millions of tons of stone to lay on the bottom of that to create a bed, or it might all be steel or metal. Probably depends on which bubble you're in, but there's something down there. There's some foundation on which everything is built.
Okay, got it.
There's some kind of thing down there that it's all built on, and somewhere in there is where this coordinate is coming from.
Kirsch will look at the caption and go,
We may want some anti-fire substances when we go here.
Yeah, it looks like we should be getting some sort of fire protective gear. This place makes me nervous. Can we put the commander up on the hollow phone?
Yes, I can try to connect to her.
I won't make the same joke again. It takes a couple minutes, but you are eventually put through to Commander Kuthari. Yes, hello.
Commander, these coordinates are below the Brass Bazaar.
That is what our analysts discerned as well.
It's a little concerning on multiple levels.
It is.
I'd like for you, if you can, to send me as much details about the scans that were pulled from Corona.
Of course, I will do so.
Also, is there any place in the budget for some protective fire gear? This place is unstable from what we understand.
I will see what I can work out.
I appreciate any assistance you can offer, Commander.
Of course, this must be resolved.
Do we have an outpost? Does the stewards have an outpost on
Yes.
Corona?
Yes, what I will do is I will contact them and have them look into it. Immediately, I think they will probably need to contact the Corona Artifact Divers HQ.
Okay.
But I'll let them sort that out and put you in contact with them once you decide to head there.
Well, Commander, one last thing.
Yes?
If Zuriel doesn't make it to the Corona outpost in the time it takes to travel there, plus 48 hours, we are currently meeting with an ambassador of Eox. Well, not currently. We'll be at 6 today. We're not sure what to expect when we enter embassy grounds, so beware that you might not hear from us again.
It is very unlikely that you would face hostilities within the Eoxian embassy. Certainly you will unlikely find any truth there, but I doubt they will harm you in any way. But of course we will monitor the situation. Be careful.
Thank you. Captain Vale out.
What next?
God, I can't think of anything else to do between now and the meeting.
Anybody else want to do anything?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. So the time for the meeting comes, and we've already got Verikin's attempt to conceal a weapon. Does anybody else want to do anything weird before you go?
Conceal weapons.
What weapons?
All right. So you head to the embassy. It's a nice place. The Eoxian embassy looks very nice when you go there. And you are expected. You go up to the door. Security is there. And they allow you into the antechamber. At the antechamber, you are met by a greeter of sorts, I guess, who is expecting you and knows who you are. Welcome to the embassy. You are expected.
Vale will click his walking staff on the ground and say, as you were.
If you would please just pass through our security, and we will get you to your meeting with Ambassador Law.
Vale strides, sir.
No problem.
Is anybody going to try and carry weapons in through this other than Verikin? Mr. Bubbles?
Do it.
I'm not even going to try, no.
All right. So they obviously have a place for you to place your weapons if you're carrying any. It looks very secure. You get a little tag.
It takes me like 5 minutes to unload all the weapons I have on me.
Kirsch puts down his like 2 little tiny pistols and his survival knife and is like, okay, ready to go.
Like realistically, I drop a carbon steel curved bladed, a tactical Dashko, a couple flash grenades, couple frag grenades, some incendiary grenades, a grenade launcher, reaction cannon, some shock grenades, sticky bomb grenades. There's just a fucking pile of like weapons.
Vale just walks right through because he's not carrying any weapons, and the whole time while Mr. Bubbles is unloading, I'm just gonna talk. Vale's gonna talk about. You're gonna need to give my man a moment. He carries quite the arsenal with him. Not that he isn't quite the arsenal on his own.
And Verikin, when you go through, beep 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 beep. Excuse me, sir. Are you still carrying any weapons on you?
Nope, I didn't unload any. And then I'll put down my arc pistol, my shear and eye rifle, and all my long arm sniper ammo and all that stuff, and my survival knife.
But not the weapon that you hid?
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep,
No.
beep.
Forgot one more, and then I'll put my pistol down too. Damn it! I was really hoping that would work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
My apologies.
No, I understand. We just have to be very secure around here.
Well, lead the way.
And they do. They lead your way through a very fancy building. Everything's nice, clean, Art Deco. And you are led to an office. And on the office it says Ambassador Baru Lore. And as you enter his very nice corner office, there are comfortable seats. He stands, greets you. He looks like an Eoxian, so pretty freaky. You know, glowing green eyes, skull face. But he's dressed very nicely in fashionable suits that are modern. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ambassador Lore. Thank you for coming.
Ambassador, Captain Vale, this is my pilot, Verikan, my magic officer, Kirsch, and our munitions expert, Mr. Bubbles.
Yes, yes. I would just like to say, Oscord Hart, it is good to see you again. And I want to apologize about all of the trouble in the past. I hope that we can put it behind us and move forward with these issues.
We can move forward by just addressing me as Hart now.
Hart, as you wish.
Well, Ambassador, I understand that you and my pilot may have some sort of history. I hope you'll take that into consideration as we approach the reason for our visit.
Well, yes, of course. You were attacked by Eoxian nationalists. And as ambassador of Eox, I just want to say that we completely disavow these people and their actions. We view them as terrorists and condemn them.
I'm sure you do. I'm going to pull out the FEO patch, the patch that we got off of the guy who almost killed me.
Sure.
This was something that one of them was wearing as they attacked us.
If my mouth were capable of generating saliva, I would spit on it.
I just like I want to react, but Vale ends up like just closing his mouth and twitching his head to the side, not really quite finding the words to say anything to that.
He is such a fucking liar.
Then I'm also going to look to Verikan here, and I'm going to say, I believe your Oscord Hart has some video information that we would like to show you. Verikan, I know you have that video of the security footage of the FEO van
going into the.
I want that on display right now.
Yeah, I'll play it.
God, your computer's annoying. Can you turn your computer down? We're trying to have a professional meeting.
He washes it and attempts to be impassive. I want to make a check against your guys' like sense motive DCs.
You're thinking 2E brain.
Yeah, I am.
We gotta make rolls.
But he's got to make a roll too because he wants to try and bluff you.
Oh yeah, so you make a bluff, and we make sense and we put our sense motives against that.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. I guess we're just going to do this all out in the open then.
Yeah, that's how we do here.
That is how we do. So,
this is a good.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's got a plus 28.
Fuck. He rolled a 9 and got 37.
I was like, I got 28. Maybe we stand a chance. Nope. You got a plus 28. You could have rolled a 1 and beaten me.
So he is very impassive as he walks.
You just did that to flex, didn't you?
No, I did.
You just did that to flex.
I wanted to hide it so that wouldn't happen for that exact reason. But even if you hide the die roll, it still like shows the plus. Wait, no, you can hide it, can't you?
Yeah, you can completely hide it.
It would just show us the shadow, and then you would tell us the result.
Whatever. It's very difficult to read his reaction as he sees this.
Where did you get this video file?
Our sources aren't exactly what's on trial, but I will tell you that it's accurate, and the steward's resources can confirm the validity of this information. I don't know if that's true.
Clearly, the stewards have a more powerful grasp of things than I would have thought. Very well. I will not attempt to lie to you. This is all above board.
I was having to tear
This is all above board.
Did you basically just tell us that
Yes, because
he
it's
was going to lie to us?
I will not try and conceal anything from the stewards or from the local authorities here on Absalom Station. Yes, we did recover the terrorist, and we are holding that terrorist and questioning him.
The results of that interrogation are very much in the interest of the stewards, Ambassador.
And
Yes.
we're in our right to ask you that we interrogate him.
I'll make a diplomacy check now if you want.
Sure.
Because
Diplomacy checks or whatever you want to do.
diplomacy for me, I get a plus 13.
Nice.
23 total.
And probably do intimidate. Ah, Jesus, fuck. I rolled an 8. Yeah.
He again just looks like a skeleton.
God damn it, this guy's hard to read. He must be fantastic at poker.
That is going to be difficult, but I will see what I can do for you. Do you wish to meet with them now?
With all haste, we don't intend on pouring on Absalom for much longer.
All right. We have a guest quarters, a chamber, or a lounge, I guess. If you would like, you may wait there, and I will see what I can arrange.
Vale will stand up. God, I want to look down at him, but I'm so short. So Vale instead will put his palms on top of one another on top of his walking stick and go. I understand that you must go through your bureaucracy to make this happen. I will not wait longer than I need to before the stewards imply that there's collusion between the FEO and the Eoxian embassy until you're able to provide such evidence to the contrary.
Very well, Captain Vale. If you would please wait in the lounge, and I will send for you when ready.
Vale will click his walking staff on the ground and then be escorted wherever you're escorting us.
He takes you to a very nice lounge. There's a big fish tank that holds weird fish. Very colorful.
Are they like just bones of fish swimming around?
No.
Like
That
Eoxian
was,
fish?
that was skulls and shackles.
Dead fish.
Beautiful fish.
God, they're so hard to read.
I can't tell if it's looking at me or not.
Yeah. Is that fish lying to me too?
There's a nice spread of food and beverage, and you may help yourselves. Comfortable seating. A VR kit, so you can play some video games if you want. Magazines.
Vale's going to go and pour himself a glass of water.
I imagine that there is a magazine that is meant to be just like the most stereotypical human magazine. The most stereotypical, like,
People.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much that, though.
Oh, that's good.
There's a bunch of people that don't understand humanity trying to be.
Oh, man. Vale's going to go and grab himself a cup of water, and I'm going to look down at it and kind of swill it around and cast churn fluid on it and change it into a nice 12-year scotch.
You can do that?
Dude, churn fluid is the best cantrip ever. I change the chemical composition of up to one bulk of liquid per level. I merge a tiny corner of parallel realities with this one, subtly, and shifting the chemical composition of a fluid. I can target any type of fluid. I don't need to even know what its current composition is. I just need to be able to see it. And I change it to whatever I want, as long as it has no other, like, game effects and mechanical effects. That's the only thing the spell calls out. Vale's then he's gonna hold his drink and pour another one and look at Varric and, what do you want to drink?
Kurishk will be like, just a second, Captain, and he'll wave his hand over it and cast Detect Affliction on the water source.
No. So what does that tell you if there's...
Determine whether a creature or object has been poisoned, diseased, cursed, or is suffering a similar affliction. I mean, I don't know if that would actually tell me if the water is poisoned, but...
Sure, I like it.
I think it's more meant to tell if somebody has been poisoned, but it says object.
That works for me. No, this is not poisoned.
Thank you, Kursk. Your caution is appreciated. What do you want to drink, Kursk? You seem to be a gin and tonic kind of bug.
Bug. That sounds great, Captain.
I'll whip him.
He would have literally taken anything you offered. Like anything you said, he would have said, "That sounds great."
I'll hand him a Dixie, like a waiting room Dixie cup filled with a gin and tonic.
What's on the cover of People magazine?
People.
All right, well, I want to flip through it. What are the trending articles right now?
In Starfinder?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Hashtags everywhere.
Yeah, hashtags. It's just all hashtags, actually.
And every one of them you can click on and takes you to like something
Yeah, you can
else.
tap on
There
it.
you
Takes
go.
To the more info. Yep, exactly right. It's like watching television on Amazon Prime, where like you hover over the thing and it tells you who's in the scene and what music is playing and everything. It's like that. It's a magazine.
Goddamn HUDs. Okay, so once
Just think about that. That's what we have already.
I know.
it's going to be way past that, right?
Yeah,
Obviously.
I can't. But that's the thing. I'm not capable of imagining what it could be. So
I'm going to look at Mr. Bubbles. Vale's going to look at Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles, do you want anything? You can just text it to me.
you receive a text that says, "The blood of my enemies."
I like it. Yep. I text that. David's got it right.
Vale's just going to sigh. The Eoxians don't bleed. You'll have to wait on that. Here's some
Then
water in the meantime.
Then I text you and say a Sprite, please.
No, okay.
We never got what did Verican want?
I'll just do a scotch. Scotch is fine.
Good. All right. So you are all
Maybe a
sitting-
vodka Red Bull, actually, now that I think about it.
There you go.
Vodka Red Bull.
That feels more like Verican.
Yeah. It's like just this fucking sleazy ass drink.
Well, while you are sitting drinking your drinks, it takes maybe 20 minutes. Someone comes in and lets you know that Ambassador Lore will now see you.
They will down the last of scotch, put it down, and stand up. Well, let's be about this.
They lead you back to Ambassador Lore's office. He is standing and maybe, just maybe, fidgeting a little bit. He is betraying his emotions, perhaps. Perhaps.
All right,
Does he just want
guys,
us-
I'll do a sense motive check.
Does he just want us to think he is?
Well, that's the thing.
He's
You don't
capable of
necessarily
doing
know.
that.
But that's what I am
bitch.
describing it as.
David, I rolled a 20 total. I'm just going to assume that was a failure.
Yep, you're just not sure. You're just not sure,
Good assumption.
considering his plus is a 28.
Well, Ambassador, I'm going to assume that you have some sort of news for me. Am I going to walk out of here with a report for the steward saying that we need to keep you on the list?
That, Captain Vale, is exactly what we want to avoid. Earlier, you said you wanted to make sure that there was no collusion between Eox and the terrorist organization, the FEO. That is also what I desire. But I must tell you that even within the government of Eox, there are those who perhaps would not disavow such collusion, or would, but would do so in weak terms. What I am saying, Captain Vale, is that within my own government, at the highest levels, there are those who, perhaps we would say, court the FEO, and those who would be of a similar viewpoint.
Vale's gonna raise the highest of left eyebrows at this information, and is going to look up at the ambassador right in his eyes and go, "Well, I appreciate your forthrightness on this situation. We all knew that, though. That is not news."
That is true, of course. It is readily available information to any who wishes to listen to our government officials speak.
The question is, Are you the one who wishes for that facade to continue, or are you the one who believes that it is not a facade?
The FEO are terrorists. They are nationalists, and they need to be eradicated. However, our laws exist in such a way that does not make them criminals, per se. Of course, as you know, our government officially denounces them. But when I work to destroy them, I have to do so carefully, Captain Vale.
Then Vale's going to crack a grin at him and look over to Varican. And I'm going to give you, like, I feel like I want your opinion on him at a glance. I know I can't do that as one, like, humanoid creature. I can't do that as a rat folk to an otter folk quite yet, right? But I'm looking for like a nod or a shake of the head on this guy's situation. Can we trust him?
No,
I mean, essentially, our sense motives tell us we can.
that's true.
I have strong opinions on sense motive and bluff checks.
That is true.
Let's hear him.
It's not necessarily like a lie detector.
I have looked into it, like I've read other people's thoughts on it. Like, in reality, you absolutely, a person cannot tell that another person is lying. Like, studies have shown, it is impossible. So essentially, sense motive is going to be bullshit, whether you succeed your check or not in reality.
And it's biased no matter what.
It is. So I will try to always answer sense motive checks with that in mind. So what I'm saying is sense motive is probably less powerful with me as a DM than it would be perhaps with other DMs.
And on a story narrative to point, if it turned out that we trusted him now and you wanted to fuck us with him later, you'd do it regardless of this conversation.
Right.
I'm kind of like, Vale understands that Varican doesn't trust the ambassador, and that's a thing that's buried in his past, right? But depending on what he says next, Ambassador, what do you have for me in regards to this terrorist?
I have one in captivity. And if you would like to speak with him, then you may.
Captivity or a guest?
Captivity.
Let's see him.
From my metagaming standpoint right now, it's like, why the fuck would they let them run loose on the station in the first place right now? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then they also attacked us, and then they didn't pick them up until we killed them. It's not like we defeated them and we're gonna hunt down the other one.
Do you want to voice any of those concerns to him?
Yeah, I actually think I would. It'd be like, you can't call him an interrogation if you just have him running around the entire station and then attacks us in broad daylight. And then you didn't pick him up until after the fact anyways. So don't call him a captive when we both know that he's a guest at this point, and you're only letting us see him because we know about him.
Your anger is very understandable, Hart. But there is something you're not understanding. We were not in control. Or at least, I was not in control. They, as far as we know, were acting independently. We picked up that criminal after he sent a transmission to his contact looking to be picked up. We intercepted that transmission and got to him first, because he is our responsibility to deal with. Defeating the FEO is Eoxian's responsibility.
We know that this was not your jurisdiction, though, here on Absalom Station.
It is not.
The steward's responsibility.
That is correct.
You were going to hide it from us unless we found it out.
That is correct. We wanted to handle it ourselves. You are right, we were out of our jurisdiction, but we did so because this is our problem to deal with, and we do not trust it to the stewards or Absalom security.
And if they would have killed us, they still would have been running around with no authority being given.
That is unfortunately perhaps true.
What I understand, given this little exchange, it sounds like we don't have the entire cooperation of the Eoxian embassy. Choose to acknowledge that or not, the truth seems apparent. We have a suspect to interrogate an ambassador, we expect to stay in communication with you, because if things are going the way on our end, as they seem to be going, your people are going to need a representative for the cause you claim to represent.
I agree with you, Captain Vale. And perhaps now it is I who am in the dark. Why did they attack you? What is going on?
You can listen to the interrogation. We will see what we come up with, and then we'll talk.
Very well. Shall we proceed?
I believe we shall.
I'll kind of grab the captain by like this collar quick and be like, we should take him into steward captivity. We're in every right to demand that he be released to us.
Let's see if it's worth flexing that first.
All right, so he leads you through a section of hallways. You get to a part that's still nice, but definitely not as well lit. This is clearly like a brig area. It looks much more heavily... There's guards everywhere, but these guards are more obvious. Like, instead of having big lumps under their fancy jackets, they're just carrying big guns. You are brought into this area, and there are some cells. In one of the cells is indeed the person who got away from the attack on you at the hangar.
And we can tell that pretty readily. That is what he looks like, or that
You would be able to recognize him.
he looks, because we had hit him or damaged him quite a bit.
Yes. Yep.
He looks pretty rough shape, or
Well, he looks as though he's been healed. Whatever would still
Is he
show
wearing
after
is he
healing.
wearing the same clothing that we encountered him in, or is he in like prisoner fatigues?
Yeah, he'd be in like prisoner fatigues or whatever you call them. So you are all standing in a cell with Baru Lore, probably at least 2 guards, and you're standing outside of the cell. And in the cell is the terrorist.
I'm just gonna kind of like, as we walk in, I just want to watch this guy's reaction to what's going on. I want to try to get a read on him. And even before we get to the cell, as we're going down the hallway, Vale will, under his breath, to everybody, kind of say, watch this guy. I want to see what his reaction is to the ambassador bringing us in here. Is there surprise in his eyes? Does this looks like something he was expecting?
So he is sitting in the corner of his cell on his bed, I guess. And as the door opens, he looks up, but there's not much hope in his eyes. He looks pretty defeated. He sees you walk in, and maybe a hint of surprise, probably more annoyance, I would say.
Vale's gonna step up, look at him, and kind of look over at Mr. Bubbles. I believe we'd met once before, yes?
Guess so.
I'd guess too. Tell me, I'm gonna take the FEO patch and I'm gonna throw it at him. What's this?
Fuck you think it is?
Well, I know what it is. I want to know what you think it is.
I think it's a patch.
Are we in this, like, the cell with him then?
No, he'd be in the cell, you'd be outside of the cell. Unless you wanted to be in the cell.
I was thinking about getting a little rough with him.
Yeah, it's be in the cell.
Yeah, I want to go in the cell.
How do you indicate that?
I walk into the cell.
It's locked.
Okay, Mr. Bubbles will send a text to whoever he needs to say, let us in the cell.
Baru Lore would look at you and say, I think I know what reason you'd want to go into the cell. You can go in as long as my 2 guards can go in with you and stop you if you get too aggressive.
I give him a slight nod. Yes.
I'm gonna look back at the guy that's in the cell and go, do you understand what just occurred?
Fuck off, rat.
Fuck off, rat.
As soon as I'm
coming
in
with him.
As soon as I'm in there, I backhand the fuck out of him.
All right. You do not need to make an attack, I'd say. So go ahead and just deal subdual damage. You're going to do subdual damage?
Yeah, so that'll be 6 damage. It's the 2 for my roll plus my 4 strength.
Well, let me pull up this guy's character sheet.
And I'm
have it.
going to keep it non-lethal.
All right.
I'll keep it in line even though he just insulted a crew member. Captain. Wait, he insulted my captain? It's lethal.
So yeah, you deal him a heavy hit, hard hit, And like immediately seeing how hard you just hit this guy, the two guards that followed you in here like grab at your arms and try to hold you back immediately.
I don't even pay attention to them. I just stand there. I give a look to my captain.
I walk past Bubbles and I go, nice hit, buddy. And I look at him and I go, I'm sure that this is just deja vu to you.
Fuck off, man. God damn it.
Seeing Mr. Bubbles beat the shit out of you and your men.
What the fuck you want?
I want answers.
What?
What's in the Corona?
What are you even talking about?
The factories. There's a factory on Corona. What's in the factories?
What was in the factory that you came from? I know you were there. They told us you were there.
Undead space leeches, you little shit.
Yeah, pretty fucking cool, aren't they?
No, cool is not what I would be looking for there. Who do you work for?
You know who I work for.
So who the fuck do I strangle above you?
The president of Eox, man?
I looked down at my wrist communicator and said Mr. Bubbles a text message and just go smack him again.
Am I still being held back?
Yes.
What kind of check do I have to make to break free from their hold and just give this guy another slap?
I guess it would be opposed grapple.
First off, can these guys... Well, you know, I allowed them to grab me.
Right.
I was just like, can they even grab me? But I let it happen.
No opposition.
I went a little far, okay?
You know what? Forget it. Are you trying to tell me? Can I make a culture check to know who the president of Eox is?
Sure.
Is 13 enough to know who the president of EOX is on a culture check?
Yeah, I would say it definitely is. Like, it's not going to be that hard to know.
I will use my limited telepathy to tell Vale
Thank
who
God.
the president is.
Thank you.
Like just so nothing has to pass between us, and it looks like he knew it.
I appreciate that.
His name is Ximena Galvin.
Are you trying to tell me that Ximena Galvin is responsible for these leeches?
God, you really are dumb.
Okay, I'm gonna try to break free and slap this guy on that one.
Okay. So what you'll need to do is make a...
If anything, I'm just gonna like raise my hands to the guards and be like, you know, it's okay. Like I don't say anything, but I kind of give them that look like, hey, I'm not gonna do anything.
They don't let go.
Make a nonverbal
Don't
bluff
let
check.
go.
I did 6 lethal damage. Come on.
This man has 11 HP. No,
Left?
17. He has 17. So he does have 11 left.
Come on.
Man, I'm kind of wishing I wasn't lawful good now. Being lawful good's gonna be really hard in this party.
All right, go for it. Make your melee attack roll.
25.
What's their KAC plus 8?
Well, they take a -2 because they also have the grappled condition, right?
Right. So you wrench really hard and you're able to yank your arm away from the one on your right. And just as you start to lunge forward to punch this guy in the face again, the one holding on the left just manages by the fingertips to hold you back and pull you back.
And just as that happens, Vale's gonna walk up and he's got his walking stick and he's gonna kind of tap the guy on his rib cage.
I would also like to point out really quick that he flinches very, very hard when you do that, Mr. Bubbles.
Okay.
Like he is terrified.
And I'm trying to like step in on that terror a little bit and kind of tap him on his rib cage and go, you know, you talk a lot, but you seem very interested in these leeches. What do you have to do with them? What do they do?
What I have to do with them? Not much. I'm just part of the organization. I don't know a lot, man. I don't.
If they're cool, then why are they cool? Just space leeches are cool?
No, because they're going...
Because why? Punk, tell me why.
Because they're going to turn all of you stupid fleshies into what you should be.
And I'm going to like poke the walking stick right into his chest. And he's going to go, you zealot motherfucker. I hope that whatever they do to you in here ends up with you getting out. Because when that happens, I'm gonna make you watch as I tear this from the top down to the bottom.
Ah! Good luck.
That's it. I'm done. Vale walks out.
Mr. Bubbles, what do you do?
I do one last little I don't even know what that's called, where you kind of like go at them, like
A feint.
like a feint, kind of feint at them one last time, and then walk out.
Yeah, he definitely cowers.
I really just want to mind thrust this guy, but
Right?
I don't think Kirsch would do it.
You are in a lawful prison as far as you understand, right? Follow the rules.
Yeah, also, I feel like that would just be like an execution where he didn't get a fair trial or something.
As I kind of get out, I'll look over to Kershk, and I'll give Kershk a little nod and thanks in regard to the information he shared with me through the limited telepathy, and look up at the ambassador and go, Ambassador, there seems to be a division.
Well, of course there is.
Then which side are you on?
Good people on both sides, right? That's what they say.
Well, you're either going to help or you're not. We have a plan. And
Let us not talk here, Captain Vale. Back to my office, please.
fine.
And he would lead you back to where you had originally had your meeting. So what is this plan you have, Captain Vale?
Well, I don't plan on sharing the plan to you. What I do intend on doing, Verican, can you get me a private channel? Can you create me a private frequency for the ambassador? I thought I told you to turn that damn thing down.
Yeah, sure. You create a private channel to, what do you want to talk to? What, Commander Cathari?
No. Just like something that the ambassador can reach directly out to us with, and we can reach directly out to him with.
Sure.
Obviously, Ambassador, I can't trust anything that comes from this point coming from your embassy.
You have to understand that I cannot trust this connection either.
Well,
But perhaps we can have limited communication over it.
I will leave the embassy today and contact my people at the stewards to approach your people to take this man into custody. Or
Captain Vale.
you can hand him over to me right now, and I will take him to the stewards.
Is it true, Captain Vale, what he said about converting those who have life into those who do not?
From our limited experience as of right now, I can
American is giving like the biggest fucking eye roll known to man right now. He's, oh my god.
yes. As far as we know, yes.
And that's what this is about?
That's what it seems to be about.
Very well. He will be handed over to your custody immediately.
Verican, can you bring the ship around?
I want guarantees that you and the stewards will say that the Eoxian embassy acted in the best interests of all involved, and that we will hold no blame for anything. We accosted the prisoner of our own volition because he was a dangerous terrorist, and when asked by the stewards, we handed him over.
That truth will be made apparent in the report.
What did you learn from the prisoner?
Very little. We have rules against torture.
Well, the stewards have rules against those sorts of things too, but
Mr. Bubbles smiles. Mr. Bubbles smiles.
not everything needs to be on record, does it?
Yes, Captain Vale, everything must be on record. For us.
Technically, I do not believe that was torture. That was a moment of anger.
Yes.
Well then, put it on your records. We'll put something on ours. Get me that prisoner now.
Very well. And, the prisoner would be bound very securely and gagged, because nobody wants to listen to that guy, and brought up to you with 5 heavily armed guards, and they ask what you want to do with him.
I grab him Do any of the guards have a taser on them?
They are all heavily armed. Sure, I suppose.
I point at one and kind of hold my hand out to see if they'll hand me a taser.
No.
Damn it. I wanted to tase him in the face. I frown, and then I just start pulling him aside.
All right. Where do you guys take him, or are you done here?
We're done here. We go right to our ship from here.
First, we need the 5-minute montage of Mr. Bubbles putting his weapons back on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Every single one that you put back on, the prisoner gets a little bit more worried.
I get sick of him looking so worried, and I just knock him out. Subdual damage.
I love that. The guy's just standing off to the side looking nervous. Mr. Bubbles hates it, so he just knocks him out so he doesn't have to handle it anymore.
He crumples to the floor.
Now, Mr. Bubbles, you should try to be more careful with our prisoners.
I text you.
I'll do a medicine check on the
He looked at me weird.
17 just to make sure he's not like internally bleeding in his skull or anything like that.
Probably not. He's just, he's injured. He's not going to feel good when he wakes up.
Well, he's unconscious, so might as well take him now.
We should take him to the ship before taking him to the stewards. We might be able to find something else.
Do you contact the stewards to let them know that you have this prisoner?
We will.
Just not yet.
Exactly.
So, from the embassy, where do you go?
To the ship?
All right. The embassy would offer you transportation to a hangar where you can get. Right. In fact, they would offer you their own secure vessel to take you to your ship out in the fleet. So there are not weird questions being asked about.
We just walk through the streets with an unconscious Eoxian over our shoulder.
He's not an Eoxian. He's what's called a corpse folk. I should have made that clear.
He's a what?
He is a corpse folk.
Which is
what?
An undead person. Basically, a human who is undead.
What the leech would turn people into.
Potentially.
Got it.
Is it? Because, I mean, from what we saw, those leeches turned them into, like, kind of mindless zombies.
True.
Yes. You currently have anecdotal experience of what the leeches do. You don't know anything more than that.
Okay.
So maybe they can be trained or brought to a higher level of consciousness or something.
Variants based on different experimental procedures, etc. Space magic.
Yeah, there might be other places that make other leeches that do slightly different things or
For
something.
fuck's sake. Well, either way, I think our course of action, like as we're going along, we can be walking down the street. I'm fine with people listening in on this. So we're going to take him back to the ship. It sounds like Verrigan has some plans.
Wait, so you're actually going to walk down the street with this prisoner in tow like this?
Is that our plan? I don't know. Do we want?
Oh, we got our steward badges on. Who fucking cares?
I don't know about anybody else, but Kershk is definitely wearing his actual, like, full steward's uniform.
You would get funny looks, definitely, and probably several concerned white people calling the police.
Help! Help!
We are the police.
Exactly. So,
Did we say how I was carrying him?
You would notice a few cruisers from Absalom Security kind of pass by slowly, watching you.
If they do, I flash my steward deputy badge at them.
Right. Yeah, you could assume that they've probably already scanned you and picked up those badges and verified them with.
I give him a salute with my free hand.
So you show up at Barry's shop. He gives the guy a little kick in the ribs when he sees him, and takes you all out to your ship.
Do we have a brig or anything like that in our ship?
I don't think so.
It's a luxury ship, man. We don't have a brig.
I highly doubt it.
I feel like we're just gonna have to like handcuff him to a post somewhere.
Oh, we just throw him in like the cargo hold or something.
We can keep him in my room.
Well, I was gonna say I don't want to give him free reign of anything. He's gonna be double handcuffed to anything until we hand him over to the stewards.
Let's just handcuff him to something in my room.
I'm fine with that.
I have the big room, remember?
Yeah.
Plenty of room.
As soon as we get on board, then I'm gonna, go up and shake Barry's hand and thanks again for taking care of us, Barry.
Of course, yeah, anything for my brother and his ship.
Thanks for taking care of the ship too. We'll take a look around, but we are in a hurry and don't want to put you at any more risk.
Well, of course, all the upgrades are done. I'm sure you'll find her real nice for you there, Captain.
You want to kick him in the ribs one more time before we leave?
Absolutely, Captain.
After he does that, I give Barry the super secret bubbles handshake. That will meet me and him know.
You're right. He is a piece of shit little guy, isn't he, Mr. Bubbles? Yeah, I'll give your love to Mom. Yeah, see you later. And he flies away.
So once we get him on,
we do have 2 extra quarters in the ship, by the way.
Oh, that's right, the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
Or what were the servants' quarters?
Yeah, we could keep him in there.
Do you think we could convert that into a cell?
Sure.
I feel like I could just lock the door.
While we're converting that into a cell, we can keep him in my bedroom.
Yeah, we'll do that in good time, right? We'll see how hard we sit on this, steward thing, and see how long it takes for us to become space bounty hunters instead.
I was gonna say space
Hell
pirates. Space pirates.
Space pirates, space bounty hunters. We do have Kershk on the ship, so maybe space bounty hunters. I think that's
Privateers.
compensation for later, right? For now, let's get everybody up to the bridge and talk about what we do next. Up on the bridge, I'm gonna look to the crew and say, we're gonna call up the commander. We're gonna let her know that we have the prisoner. We're gonna say that he needed to come on board the ship as soon as possible and is not fit for being housed in Absalom Station. Find out the best place to rendezvous between here and the Corona. Drop him off, which means between here and there, he's ours. So, Kershk, could you put the commander up on the holophone?
Done. That is not what my console sounds like.
You get through to Commander Kuthari. Captain Vale, this is Commander Kuthari.
Commander Kuthari, we have a prisoner that we need to drop off to you when we are en route to Corona.
A prisoner? What prisoner?
We have a corpse folk from the FEO that attacked us in Absalom Station. He escaped, but we managed to get him from the embassy.
My goodness, this is important news. I will certainly relay it on to anyone who needs to know.
Well,
Yes, drop him off. You can bring him to the steward installation there at Absalom Station. If you are heading to the sun, that is in the opposite direction of Liavara, where I am.
well, I don't need to drop him off right with you, but for the moment, I think Absalom Station might be just a little too hot for the prisoner.
That is understandable. Bring him to Castrovel. That would be between you and the sun.
Then to Castrovel it is.
We have stations there.
Then
Or I could send a ship from Castrovel to rendezvous with you to save you time. Perhaps that would be the better way to go.
it's not necessary. It's on our way.
I will make the necessary arrangements.
We'll talk to you soon, Commander.
Well done, Captain Vale. Good luck. Kuthari out.
I mean, we have our coordinates.
All right. So is that the thing? You're going to head on over?
I think, how much time would it take? Do we know?
We'll figure that out.
I would say figure how much time it takes. We'll know that much time that's how much time we have to interrogate this dude, and we can come up with a detailed plan on how we plan on extracting information from him.
First thing I want to do is award you XP for doing the things you just did. There it is. And award. Your XP has been awarded.
Is that really how much you're giving us?
Yes.
I think that's enough to put us to 3.
I think it is.
I know it is.
Oh, I see. Planned maneuvers.
Fuck yes.
It's like milestone leveling, but with numbers.
I'm not gonna lie, during that whole encounter in the cell, I was looking at what I get at level 3, and I was like, please.
So, if you are traveling from Absalom Station to Castrovel, to determine how long that will take, we need your pilot or whoever to make a D6 roll, D6 plus 2.
Look at that, bare minimum.
So it'll take you 3 days to get to Castrovel.
And that means we have 3 days to interrogate this motherfucker.
Along the way, the steward installation on Castrovel that you'll be heading to will be in contact with you, setting up a rendezvous, setting up security, a time frame.
Verican, do you want some time alone with this thing?
Yeah. Bubbles, do you want to come with?
A nod, yes.
All right. Some good bonding moments with Bubbles.
All right, you guys go and cram into the small little room where you have your prisoner held captive.
You thought your Eoxian kind was going to save you, huh? And you'd be treated with respect. We're not going to do that. We're going to find out what you know, one way or another. You can just tell me everything that you know now, and we'll drop you off to the stewards, and you'll just rot there. Or Bubbles here is going to beat the undead piss out of you until you tell us what you know.
Can I make an intimidate check on that?
Nice.
Ooh, you get a 21 on that. Look, man. Look. I don't really know much. I'm only CR1, man.
You know who was tracking our movements, who knew about us, who knew that we hit the station and knew where we are on Absalom Station. So you know more than you think you do.
I don't know it, man. The people that I was following know it.
And you're going to tell me where they are.
You killed him.
I know that that's not all of them.
No, it's not. But
Bubbles.
I slap him. Non-lethal.
Non-lethal. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage, unless you just want to make it like a non-damaging slap.
I want to do it where it's just like a D3 and I don't add my strength. I didn't put all my strength behind it.
I would absolutely say you're able to do that. I would say if you ever want to deal less damage, you can.
Yeah.
So you deal him 1 subdual damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't like it. He's definitely scared of you. I'm telling you, man. Like, what do you want to know? Like, the FEO is everywhere. I can't tell you
where was your station?
They're everywhere.
Where was your station? Where were you hiding?
I'm from Absalom, man.
Where in Absalom?
Like, it's not really a secret. We hang out at the Nazi bar.
Okay.
Undead Nazi bar.
The undead Nazi bar.
I was going to say, Nazi bar is the Atlantes.
That's the Aslantes.
The white supremacist bar.
They hang out at the white
There you go.
supremacist bar. Yeah,
There you go.
that's where they hang out. It's not really a secret.
Like, we got this guy dead to rights. But what other information could he honestly give us?
Yeah.
Right?
Very little.
The only thing that I think that it would make me like satisfied to come away from like what this guy could give us is like, where is the data kept? Like, where is a terminal access point where we can try to hack into, or, where's a central point of operations maybe in the sun, or if they're everywhere, right? The place to start when we get to Corona would be the entrance of an FEO facility. So if he knows where something like that might be.
Look, I don't know anything about the other stations. What I can tell you is that, yeah, if you look around, if you ask around, if you know the right people, you can find the FEO in most major cities. If you're looking for the hub, obviously, it's in the motherland, in Eox.
So would Verican get the sense at this point that's all he's going to find out from this guy?
You would get the sense that that's about all this guy would know.
I'll just kind of very lazily just kind of take out a mag, throw it in my semi-auto pistol.
Wait, man, come on.
Back.
Hold on. Hold on. I told you everything you wanted to know. You've got to take me to prison, man. You've got to take me to prison.
Take you anywhere.
They're expecting me.
I'll grab my steward badge and I'll just kind of throw it on the ground and be like,
dude, come on.
Took you here. If we were to throw you in jail, we would have just kept you on Absalom Station. And I'll just put it up to his head. And
They're gonna know.
Bang!
He's dead.
I enjoy the bang.
I mean, I am using a fucking bang, so.
Sounds like we're going to the sun.
Plot new course. Roll another D6 plus 2.
Captain, I must protest the killing of prisoners.
I understand, Kirsch, and your adherence to the letter of the law is commended. But the ship needs a certain balance. You provide one side, Verican provides the other. Plot course.
takes a turn toward the evil, but hey, that's role-playing games for ya. Maybe they'll redeem themselves. The only way to find out is to tune in next time as we continue MNmaxed in Space. And until then, may you have many great adventures of your own.
It's your turn.